AI voice generators have become a must for creating YouTube videos. But there's one tool that completely dominates when it comes to creating studio quality AI voiceovers. And the craziest thing is that most people don't know how to unlock its full potential. You see, every big YouTube channel you know is using Elevenlabs already. And you have probably watched a lot of videos without even realizing. That is how real it sounds. And there is a simple reason why everybody is using this tool. Elevenlabs has the most advanced AI voice cloning feature on the planet. And it only takes 10 minutes to set up. And yes, this is my actual AI voice clone. Pretty wild, huh? Now that's just one of the many insane features that Elevenlabs offers. But here's the issue. Most people get stuck with a robotic voice that is misspelling words and just not getting it done.
Hey, this is a test voice clip that I'm doing on my voice clone that I created with the AI in just a minute.
So if you're using the wrong prompts and features and don't understand how Elevenlabs actually works, your results are just going to be bad, plain and simple. So in this video, I will show you everything you need to know about how to use Elevenlabs AI, the tricks, the hidden features, and the exact settings that pros use so that you can create the best sounding AI voice for your videos. So once you have signed up and activated your free trial with the link in the description, here's the home view of Elevenlabs. And now here are the core features. So you can create instant speech using AI. You can do audiobooks, Elevenlabs agents, music, sound effects, and dubbed videos. And I will walk you through all of these and show you my results with all of these in this video. And right now, before you start to generate voices or speech or music or sound effects or anything, I actually recommend going here to the voices tab on the left hand side, because here you get to create your voices first. And here's how it works. In the My Voices tab, you can save any voice from a library or a voice that you have created for easy access. So here on the right hand side, it says create or clone a voice. So let's click on that and I will walk you through all these features. I also bought the plan that allowed me to do this professional voice clone, so we will be able to do that one as well, even though right now it says that that is not an option. So first of all, one thing you can do is you can create a custom voice by just simply describing this AI tool what kind of a voice you want to create. So let's hit that. And here I have given a sample prompt for the tool to create a deep booming male voice of a massive evil ogre in his middle years. Thick gravelly tone with a resonant theatrical quality that's both menacing and absurdly silly. Speaking at a quick, excited pace with erratic bursts of maniacal energy. Perfect audio quality. And you can also use these buttons here at the bottom if you don't come up with these descriptions yourself. So these will give you options with which you can design your sounds. Of course, you can also use ChatGPT or then just use your imagination and type whatever you want in this box. And then once you have done that, you can hit generate voice. And this won't take for longer than 15 seconds or so. And here is the result.
I'm an evil ogre created by Arturi.
So you actually get to play with 3 different voices, so it doesn't just create one, it will give you 3 options and you get to choose which one best matches the description you just gave it. So that's pretty interesting. You can also tweak the settings, so you can do some guidance here. You can also choose the loudness level and stuff like that. But now, for example, I think that the voice number 2 is pretty good, so we can just hit select voice and now just give it a descriptive name. So I will call mine Arturi's Evil Ogre, and then you can choose the language and you can also give it a label if you want, and then just describe the voice. And this is just for you to later remember what this voice is about. And then just hit save voice. And now once you have done that, all you need to do is just go to text to speech, then pick a voice, and there it will suggest you the voice that you just saved. For example, Arthur is evil ogre. We can choose that. Then you can tweak these settings. I will talk to you about these a bit later in the video, but you can basically just generate whatever text you want over here, and then you can just create a voice clip of that. So for instance, we can type in something here. Let's say, hey, this is a test voice with an evil ogre voice that I just created, and then just hit generate speech.
Hey, this is a test voice with an evil ogre voice that I just created.
And there is your result. Now obviously that sounds super silly and it doesn't make sense to create voices like that, but this just shows you what kinds of extents this tool is ready to push it. So you can literally describe a voice and it will give it to you. But now before I talk to you about these settings over here, let's move back to the voices section because there are more important features you can use here. So once again, let's click create or clone a voice. And then let's click instant voice clone. So here all you literally need to do is just talk for 10 seconds and then just hit next and you will be able to create your voice clone. And alternatively, you can drag and drop your voice clip over here as well. But now I have already done this for me, so let's go back to text to speech and I'm going to pick my quick voice clone, and I called mine Arthur clone in a very similar fashion how we created this evil ogre. I just gave it a short name and description. Now let's activate that. Here is a short prompt that I will give to the AI to repeat this in my cloned voice. And here is the result.
Hey, this is a test voice clip that I'm doing on my voice clone that I created with the AI in just a minute. Let's see how well this resembles me. I think this will be decent.
And just as I predicted, with a 10-second short clip like that, it is very hard for the AI to produce super realistic and exactly matching voice. But I was surprised how good this was, considering it only took like 10 seconds of audio and maybe 30 seconds of waiting for the AI to create a clone like this. But now if I send this to my friends, if I send this to my family, they never realize that it's me. So this is not an ideal clone. That is why we need to create the professional clone. So now let's go back to voices and let's go create or clone a voice. Now this time let's click this professional voice clone. And I actually did this yesterday, so I will just quickly show you how I did it because I'm no longer able to do that with my current plan. So you click the button, then you just read the instructions, and this is super important. So you actually need to have at least 30 minutes of audio of yourself, and also you need to have a permission to use that audio from somebody who you're trying to mimic. So if it's yourself, that's no problem, but for instance, if you have a team member who wants to do this and they send their audio clips to you, you cannot create their voice clone. So they have to be present, they have to speak out a short sentence in front of the microphone just for the AI to verify that they actually have, or you actually have the permission to create the voice clone. So just keep that in mind. And if you want to optimize your audio, you have to use a decent microphone with a pop filter. You have to have a noise-free room because every disturbance will also confuse the AI. And for instance, this room that I'm recording in is acoustically treated, so that is ideal. And I actually did it in this way, so I didn't want to just yap in front of the microphone for like 45 minutes or whatever is the recommended amount here. So I just took my older YouTube videos, I removed all the soundtracks, sound effects, everything, and I just left it as speech, and then I uploaded it into this service. And it took a minute or two to upload it, and then I quickly, as I said, I had to verify the voice. So for instance, I would just click on the start recording button, and then it will randomly produce a short sentence you need to read out loud, and they will just make sure that the voice matches with the audio you uploaded. Then the tool starts to process your audio, and this can take easily 2 to 3 hours. I think for me it took like 2 hours, and it even says that this might be 6 hours depending on how much audio you sent to it. But now we don't have to wait because I already did this yesterday, so let's go back to text to speech and let's pick my professional clone over here. So once again, you just give it a name and a description, and now let's try to see what this sounds like. Let me read this out loud for you just so that you can compare how it sounds like. Hey, this is a test voice clip that I'm doing on my voice clone that I created with AI in just a minute. let's see how well this resembles me. This must be good because I'm using the professional clone feature. And now let's turn that into AI. Hey, this is a test voice clip that I'm doing on my voice clone that I created with the AI in just a minute. Let's see how well this resembles me. This must be good because I'm using the professional clone feature. It literally sounds as if I was just recording myself in the previous sentence, so that is crazy. I don't think I had even that well optimized audio, so first of all I just uploaded like 40 minutes, they let you upload up to 2 hours, and also there are these AC systems that I forgot to turn off, and I think there must have been some distractions from the next door as well, so there are door bangings and people screeching their benches as they eat in the lunch area, but the AI did not get distracted by those at all. So this one is insanely good. Now, if you need to do anything with your audio, you can just write it down here and it will speak it out loud in your exact style and voice. And that is crazy. And just as an example, as a content creator myself, I usually script my videos. But then from time to time, I forget to say something and I forget to add something into the video. If I'm traveling or if I'm not at my office space here, that is a catastrophe because then I will have to record it in another way, which looks super amateur. But now what I can do here is I can just come here to Elevenlabs. I can make it say anything in my voice. I can upload that voice track into the video and then I can hide the fact that I'm not in front of the camera using some B-roll where I'm demonstrating stuff. And I also like the fact that you can do this professional clone without wasting your credits. So for example, in the creator plan that I'm currently on, I can do one of these professional voice clones. So this doesn't waste my credits, but only do I get to spend the credits when I start to use the AI cloned voice. So that's pretty handy as well. So that's pretty cool. That's how you can create a professional clone that sounds exactly like you, or for example, one of your teammates. But now, last but not least, let's go back to voices and let's hit create or clone voice once more and let's hit voice remixing. And now this is pretty funny. So here you can take any voice from the library and you can tell the AI how you want to change that voice. So just an example, let's choose my professional voice clone and let's tell the AI to make it sound like I'm old. So here I'm telling the AI to make it sound old and tired and someone who can barely put a sentence together. So let's hear what I sound like in 50 or 60 years. And here you get 4 different results, and once again you can choose one that sounds the best to you. And here's what my older version sounds like.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. My apologies. My eyes aren't what they used to be, you know.
I mean, that's pretty cool. You can clearly hear that it's still me, but it definitely sounds like I am older and tired. And if you like your voice, just click on the save button, just give it a name, language and description and hit save voice, and then you can use it wherever you want. And now that I have shown you how to create a quick clone, a professional clone, and how to create voices from scratch using Elevenlabs, now it is finally time to start using this tool. So let's go to the text to speech section that I showed you earlier here on the left. Now here's the idea. So you can just copy paste any text over here and then you can choose your AI voice model from here. And you can preview all these different models by clicking this button over here. And once you find something that sounds good to you, just click on that. It will activate it for you. And then you can hit generate speech. So for instance, let's listen to how Brian sounds when he's saying this stuff that I have written down here.
Hello, welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
It sounds very realistic, but as you can sometimes hear, this AI tends to make some mistakes. So for instance, in this very clip that I just showed you, it wouldn't produce the AI word correctly. So it said something like this AI can read or something like that. Now, if you want to fix this, you need to understand these settings over here. And now I will show you exactly how these work, and I will give you a brief explanation to every single one of these settings over here. So first of all, here is the AI voice. You can always change to somebody else if it feels dull, if it feels like it is not pronouncing stuff right, and whatever there might be. Then we have the model. This one's also pretty simple. So you have the 11v3, which is the most expressive model. This one supports over 70 languages and offers improved emotional range and naturalness. And by the way, I have jotted these all down on a blog post about this tool, so if you prefer a written version, just click the link in the description. You'll find all this stuff there as well, and it's obviously free. Nonetheless, this 11v3 model is best for multilingual projects. For instance, if I were to do a project in Finnish, I might use this one. It has this expressive tone and creative voiceovers. And since this one is in the alpha stage, may have some occasional inconsistencies. So that's, for instance, why it wouldn't produce the word AI right here. Then we have the official 11 multilingual V2 model. So this one is high quality, emotional rich model available in 29 languages. And this one is a stable model, and it's designed for professional grade audio production. And the Elevenlabs multilingual V2 model is best for audiobooks, podcasts, narration, and any content that needs emotional realism and a natural delivery. And then we have the 50% cheaper 11 Flash V2.5 model. And as you can see in the description, it focuses more on the speed and efficiency rather than the emotional tone. So if you have some real-time applications, for example, like chatbots or interactive systems or projects where you need some quick responses, this model is for you. But then let's move on to these audio settings, and I will give you some examples here to demonstrate these as well. So first of all, you have the speed editor. So this is intuitive. It just determines how fast the AI will speak your sentences. And then this stability basically just controls how your AI voice generations will sound like one after the other. You see, the problem with AI most of the time is that, for instance, with AI image generators, you create an image of a character once, and then the second time you create it, it will look entirely different. Well, that's kind of an issue also in AI voice generation. If you have an unstable model, it can produce a different sounding voice clip even though it's the same AI voice actor. So that is something you can control with the stability. I recommend keeping it above 50%. So based on my experience, that will give you decent results. And then confusingly enough, we have the similarity level, which could sound like it is the stability thing, where basically you get these similar sounding clips. But in fact, this is just the resemblance to the target speaker's voice. So the higher the similarity, the closer the AI is to produce a sound clip that sounds the voice actor that you have. So it is kind of doing a similar thing as to the stability, but the stability is keeping it consistent across all the generations, while the similarity is just focusing on trying to get it as close to one actor as possible. And then the style exaggeration controls how dramatic and expressive the AI voice clip is. And now let me give you some examples as to how it sounds when I'm tweaking these settings over here. So for example, let's drag the speed slider to as slow as possible.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration.
And then let's put it as fast as possible.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud.
Now let's drag the stability to 0%.
Hello, welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
So now that is the clip number 1. Now let's regenerate the speech and let's listen to how close it sounds to this previous one, because it should theoretically change a bit because it's unstable.
Hello, welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
So keep it somewhere here on the 70% side, because as it says here, it can produce monotonous voices if you have it too high here. So if you have longer text segments, you can lower this value as well. Let's reset all these other values, and now let's go with a low similarity and let's see what happens.
Hello? Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
And then let's drag the similarity to 100%.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
So the higher the similarity, the better it is going to match the original voice of this voice actor. And last but not least, let's also do the style exaggeration. So let's drag this to 100%.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
And as you can see, it says that 50% or over may lead to instability. So sometimes, like now for example, it worked out pretty fine, but sometimes it might produce some very funky and weird sounding content. And just as a comparison, let's do style exaggeration of 0%.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices.
So that is how you can use the AI text-to-speech feature. That's pretty cool, isn't it? But now there is this problem that I want to get rid of, and it is the fact that it is not saying this part correctly. So it's saying this I can read any text, so it makes absolutely no sense. So now let's try this with another model. So let's pick 11v3 alpha. And now let's see what happens.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud.
And as you can hear, this pretty much does it. So in both of these clips that it created for me, the AI is spelled correctly. So it's not saying this I can read, but it's saying this AI can read. So that's exactly what we wanted. And also notice that if you change the model, it also gives you different options. So for instance, in the 11 multilingual thing, you have all these different tweakings you can do, but in the V3 one, you just have the stability. So you can make it either creative, natural, or very robust and stable and predictable. And I like to keep it natural because that gives me more consistent and good sounding outcomes. And speaking of these different voice models, also make sure that if you use the 11v3 alpha model, make sure to use this enhance feature. For example, if I click on it, it will add these templated tags into the text. So for instance, here it has said happy. So this will mean that the next sentence or phrase is read in a happy tone. So let's actually pick one of these voices that are designed for these enhancements and this V3 model. For instance, let's do James. And now let's hit generate speech.
Hello. Welcome to this text-to-speech demonstration. This AI can read any text aloud, change its tone, speed, and even sound like different voices. Let's see how smoothly it can speak.
As you can hear, that sounds pretty much perfect. And then last but not least, when it comes to the text-to-speech feature, make sure you also notice that you can add multiple speakers over here. So you can change the voice actor to, for example, somebody else, and you can create a podcast episode or any kind of an audio book or piece of content here where multiple people are talking after one another. And one more thing, if you want to travel back in time, just click on this history tab and you will see all your creations here, and you can use these prompts here by just clicking the text icon, and you can play this one, you can restore the text and restore the settings even, and then you can just download these pieces of content over here as well. But then let's move on to another super useful feature here on Elevenlabs, and that is called voice changer. So now let's take this video that I recorded yesterday to anybody else out there. And the only thing you basically need to do is we can actually change my voice to any one of these AI voice actors' voices over here. And to do that, we can just drag and drop the video file into the view. We can tweak the settings so we can choose any voice here. Just an example, let's do James. And then once again, you can tweak these settings that I talked about you earlier, and then just let's hit generate speech. And here's what the result sounds like. So this tool also allows you to change your voice to anybody else out there. And the only thing you basically need to do is just upload the video, take the... That's pretty cool. And now the obvious only problem here is that you will only get audio back. So even if you upload a video, it will not return you a video, it will only return you an audio clip. But that is not a problem either, because you can open up any free video editing tool. You can drag and drop your video clip into the view and then just drag and drop the audio clip into the view and just make sure that these align on top of one another in a natural way. Then you can silence this original video clip and there is your AI voice clip. And this is the result you get. And now, if you didn't already see this coming, one thing you can do is, if you forgot to turn on your microphone in one of your videos, just drag and drop the video clip into the view and then choose your own voice from this list. For example, Artturi Professional Clone. Then hit Generate Speech. And now just open up your video editor, remove the original audio from the video clip and replace it with this cloned voice, professional sounding AI voice. So that is pretty incredible. But next up, let us move to the sound effects feature. And I'm going to walk you through this very quickly because I don't think that this is so relevant for most of you. But just know that you can create unique sound effects here on Elevenlabs as well. So just tell the AI what you want to do. For example, low thunder rumbles, temple bells echo, a single deep breath. And then you have these very basic settings, so you can do this in a loopable fashion where the sound effect will basically start from when it ends, so you can just repeat it over and over again without having a unnatural sounding pause. You can tweak the duration to be automatic, or if you want a specific duration, you can also do that. And then you can also do the prompt influence thing. And here basically the lower the value, the less the AI is going to follow this prompt. And the higher the value, the more it will sound like what it's suggesting over here in your input. But now let's just hit generate. Then you can click on this tab to view your creations, and here are our results. And for some reason, for example, these effects are just 1 second in length, and here's what they sound like. Yep, I don't know what to make of it. It is pretty decent, and I have heard some of these examples to be very good. So you can actually, instead of creating these, you can go to this exploration section where you can see what others have created. And here you can see that, for example, this one has over 500 downloads, and you can even reuse the same prompt. So you can take other people's examples and run with those. And just for the heck of it, let's listen to one of these as well. I mean, that sounds pretty incredible. It sounds exactly like a real recording, so that doesn't sound unnatural almost in any way or shape or form. Of course, this entirely depends on what you send to the AI. Some cases it will absolutely nail, and in others it might just produce weird, short, clippy, whatever results. So I'm not too fond of this feature, but to be honest, I am not using this platform to create sound effects. Then as the next feature, we have the voice isolation feature. So if you happen to have an audio clip where you're talking or somebody else is talking and there's a lot of background noise, this one will filter that all out for you. And this is ridiculously simple to use. So just drop your audio clip here or a video clip here and you will get your filtered audio back. And here's how my results turned out.
Isolation feature in action. So even though I'm drying my hair, it doesn't, the voices isolates it perfectly in this scene, which is absolutely insane.
So as you can hear, it's doing a decent job. It is definitely capable of reducing the outside noises, but at the same time, it makes the AI sound a bit robotic. And also sometimes it tends to miss these words. So it might sound completely different and the words might not even make sense the more noise you add. So once again, I would probably use this feature if I have accidentally, for example, left the AC on one of my podcast episodes or something like that, where you have just a subtle nuanced background voice or noise that you want to get rid of for a clip or two. So I would probably not use this to process hours of very noisy content because it just ends up sounding weird. But this is good, quick recovery, quick fix if you want to do this on some of your clips where you have too much noise going on behind the scenes. And then let's move on to the products section of Elevenlabs. So first and foremost, let's move to the studio. So here you can create new audio projects or video projects. And basically all this is just a studio for the features we played with in the playground. So here you can start to add text, you can choose your voices, and as you can see, you can remove the background audio, you can change voice, and this is just one handy place where you can access all these features under the same project. So if you want to create an audiobook, a podcast episode, even if you want to turn your URL into an audio clip, for example, like a blog post, you can do an AI script generator, whatever it is, this studio can help you by putting all these playground features in one place for easier access later. So then let's move on to the music product. And once again, we're going to do this very quickly because I have both shown how to use the AI music generator in more detail in a separate video, and I have even shown on another video how to turn these music songs into actual music videos. And the working principle behind this is very simple. So just tell the AI what kind of song you want to hear. So for example, a Christmas trap beat. And heck, we can even add vocals. Then you can choose how many variants you want to create in one go. I recommend keeping it at 1 because sometimes if you give it a specific prompt, you get so bad results that you are just wasting credit. So with 1, you get to see what the AI might be capable of. And if it's close, then you might want to run like 2 to 3 variations where you get the optimal result. But sometimes it is just so bad that it doesn't really help creating 4. Then you can tweak the duration. I recommend once again keeping it short when you're trying to do this for the first time with your idea. For example, we're going to do like 30 seconds for this one just to save some credits. And then if this sounds good, we can actually create like a 4-minute full-on song with it. And then you can also give it custom lyrics. So you can use AI to create these. You can use like ChatGPT if you want, or you can auto-generate those. And you can also choose if this is only going to be an instrumental track. Let's auto-generate and let's hit generate and listen to what we get.
Riding through the snow with my 808 sleigh. Sleigh bells ringing, make the trap beat play. Candy cane drip, red and white on the flex. Santa's in the trap with the elves on deck. Papa winter twist, watch the chimney light glow. Snowfall vibes when we let that bass go.
And now what I really like about this one is that if you're creating a longer song, Elevenlabs is actually splitting the timeline into multiple sections. Here it didn't do that because this is only 30 seconds, but this allows you to basically just start to listen to your clip even before it's finished because it is doing it by parts. So for instance, you might have like 10 parts in a song, and the first part might already be created in like a couple of seconds. To me, this is crazy how well it actually sounds like a real song. So if I played this to somebody, especially if I was playing this on a background, nobody would ever be able to tell that this is not a real song. So this is how far we have come. So first, we had the AI image generators. Now we also have these AI song generators. I think that the video generators will be this insane in just a couple of years as well. So that's how the AI is developing. And as I said, I'm not going to dig deeper here because we're mainly focusing on this AI voice cloning and voice changer and text-to-speech stuff. But I have made a separate video where I show you how to use this AI music generator as well. Basically, you can tweak all these lyrics here. You can generate parts of your song again if you want to. You can include and exclude styles, and you can stretch the song if you want to. So you can do all these basic adjustments and tweaks over here. Then let's move on to another product called dubbing. And this is self-explanatory, so I will just show you an example. So let's give the project a name. We can do English as the source language and the target language to be Spanish. Then we can upload a video file here. So here is a short little clip where I'm talking. And if you want to do adjustable dubbings, that is, if you want to change the alignments of the words if it doesn't sound natural or if it doesn't align well with what you're saying or what somebody is saying in the video, you can also create this project for customizations. And you can also reduce the character usage to save some credits and to optimize the model. But for this one, I will just create a dub without tweaking these settings over here. And it will first upload your video and then it will start to process the dubbing. And depending on how long your video is, this might take some minutes. So here is the video that I got from it.
Entonces, esta herramienta también te permite cambiar tu voz a la de cualquier otra persona.
And as you can see, it's a bit of a bummer because it is not actually doing the lip sync. So I was expecting this AI to actually not just dub it, but also to lip sync my lips to move in a way that it is spelling the different language. So that might sound very futuristic, but that is actually possible, and that has been possible for a while. For instance, a tool like HeyGen can do dubbings like that, where it actually looks like you were speaking in another language originally to begin with, which is insane. But then let's speed run the rest of these features. So then you can also do speech to text. So if you have an audio clip, you can also turn that into text. And then you even have the audio native feature. So you can just customize a player here. You can tweak these colors and fonts and everything. And then you can drag and drop this piece of code, for example, into your WordPress website on any blog post or page. And then it will render a player like this, where it reads out the blog post out loud for your audience. So if people are jogging or walking, if they're doing something else and they encounter this blog post, they can just listen to it. For example, Medium is known for using a similar feature on their platform. And then last but not least, we also have productions. So here you can actually order something from Elevenlabs team. So this is no longer just AI. This is an entire team working behind you. So you can do dubbing, transcripts, captions, translated subtitles, and audiobooks very soon. So that is it. That is how you use Elevenlabs AI voice platform. So as you can see, you can generate a voice clone that sounds exactly like you. So this allows you to never ever have to record again in your life if you don't want to, yet it still sounds perfect. Then you can also do these different AI voice actors. You can turn those written pieces of text into spoken audio that sounds perfectly as if it was talked by a human. You can change your voice from a video or an audio clip to anyone else. Heck, you can even change the voice to your professional voice if you forgot to turn on your microphone. You can create sound effects and music. And you can even isolate your voice from the surroundings if you have too much going on behind. So in my opinion, this is the best AI voice platform out there because of all these features, and this is actually very, very cheap as well. So I have this $22 monthly creator plan, and I have created a bunch of songs and a bunch of these simple AI text-to-speech clips and stuff like that. So this is going to be very cheap for you. And if you're not just playing around, if you're not planning to use it just once or twice a week, you might want to try this recommended pro plan. This is $100 per month, but this will give you so many more credits. So you can create hours and hours of AI audio content with this plan every single month, which can save you a lot of time and money in the long run.